All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my movement tutorial. I'm going to be going through all the intricacies of movement in Soul Calibur 6. So, yeah, let's get started. I'm going to quickly run through the basics here. So, there's three types of movement. There's forward movement, side movement, back movement. There's a little bit of like combination stuff like down back movement and down forward movement. That's not that useful. But key things to know with movement is you can buffer out of attacks, so you don't need to time things too carefully, at least for the basic movement. So yeah, for this is going to be I'm going to be going over a lot of advanced stuff, but if you just want to be able to move like to like I don't know 90% like efficiency, all you really need to know is you want to tap. Let's do single taps for your side movements. Double tap forward for dashes. In fact, it probably doesn't matter that much for dashes. And single taps definitely for back dashes. So yeah, good thing to know is normally when you sidestep, you can't guard for a certain period of time from a standstill. It takes 14 frames to be able to sidestep and sorry, wait. It's I'm confused now. It's like I have a technique now to like get safer movement, and I just forget. Let me just check my notes really quick here. So yeah, you can guard frame 14 for sidestep, yeah, and then frame 16 for backstep. Though I've heard some people say it's 15. Anyway, so if the opponent does something like this, and you try to sidestep, you will get countered. Same goes for backstep in this situation. Oh, you can get out. Mitsureed is that though. He'll catch you. If I can actually do it. There we go. I think this is 0 on block. 0 on hit, rather. Yeah. So this moves I-16. Right? Is it I-16? Yeah. Okay. Huh. Why did the lethal hit me then? Okay, yeah, you can block 16 framers after backstepping from a standstill. The 1 direction and 7 direction stepping, the down back and up back, those count as sidestepping in regards to recovery. You can block in 14 frames. Block at frame 14 rather. So yeah, there's also there's 3 main ways of doing each of these movements. There's single tap, holding down the direction, and double tapping. So the benefit of single tapping is allows you to move like a fixed distance. Like you're gonna go the same distance every time, and then stop. Basically, the way single taps works is when you press the direction, the game will read that you're holding the direction, and then like when you release, it's gonna like kind of sense that you release. So that's what a single tap is. It's a press and then back to neutral. So for example, when you do like a forward step, this is what a forward step looks like when it's really brief. And if you're really slow in the tap, you'll do like a delayed kind of front step. And what's happening there is it's canceling the beginning of your holding step. So you're doing a holding step, you're holding forward, But when you release early enough for it to recognize it as a tap, it cancels that holding animation into a tap step animation. Stepping and backstepping works a little bit differently, but I'll get into that later. So yeah, it's kind of important to know how all that stuff works, because we'll be taking advantage of that stuff as we go on. Anyway, what's next here? Holding directions. Yes, holding directions. Sometimes it has a slow startup animation. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on which movement. Forward holding dashes, as I call them, start up really fast in this game. So that allows you to really have some intuitive forward movement. Just gotta hold forward and you run at almost full speed from the beginning. It's a little bit different than it was in past games. Past games, you'd have this kind of slow startup animation that kind of looks like that, or it's like it takes a second to get going. Hey, what's up, Swipe? Thanks to the viewers. Really excited about this tutorial. Very Smash players might enjoy this kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe you're playing Guilty Gear though. I'm doing great. Recording a video right now though. Let's see. Next we have double tapping. Yes, double tapping cancels the single tap movement into double tap movement. So you're going from holding to release to a single tap, and then into the double tap. Oh, for Eunice? Oh, sick. Thanks. So yeah, the single tap, you cancel the single tap animation into the double tap animation when you hold it down. So for forward step, this is the step, this is the run, and so you can kind of do a combination if you do it slowly. It's like step, run, step, run like that, or like back step, back walk, or side step into, well, double tap side steps doesn't really exist. But anyway, let's go into more detail about each of the directions of movement. So for forward movement, this is the safest form of movement because you can cancel into guard at any time, as opposed to back step, side steps. I'm trying to guard right away, and I can't unless it's like a very beginning of the side step, like that. But yeah, so holding dash, yeah, it's new in SE6. You can just immediately tap and or press and hold, and you go full speed. Let's see, holding dash is let's see, character. Yeah, it's moving a short distance. Oh yes, yeah. There's a really useful technique. You can dash for a short distance and do jumping attacks or forward or down forward attacks. So 6 attacks, 9 attacks, 3 attacks. If you don't know the notation, just look at a numpad. 6 is forward, down forward is 3, and up forward is 9. So some difficulties with the movement and attacking in this game occur because like there's 8-way run attacks. If you hold forward and press a button, you're gonna get the 6-6A, the forward 4A. But sometimes you kind of just want to run forward and do a 6A. This is a 6A. So you can get around this a little bit by a couple little input tricks, like this kind of brief tap and then press the button, or hold and press the button after a short period of time. So this is the normal range of 3K right here. So you can kind of extend the range a little bit by holding forward a bit and then going down to 3. Like you can see my input display. Oh no, you can't. Oh boy. Yeah, I should probably not have that there. There we go. There's the input display. Let's move my face over here. There we we go. Alright. So, I guess you guys didn't really need to see that for the first part, but this is where it gets important. Look down at the input display, you can see me mashing G. And you can also see me doing the holding dash cancel attack. Basically, the game's input leniency makes it so like you don't have to press like down, forward, and kick for the 3K like all at exactly the same time. They give you a little bit of an input window, but during that input window, the game has to like do something, otherwise it wouldn't be very responsive. You can't just be waiting to see like, oh, is he doing a 3K or not? During all that time, it's like letting you not be perfect. So we can exploit this by letting the character move a bit and then pressing kick and the 3 direction at the same time. You can get a little bit extended range on 3K using the holding dash. The single tap dash is oh, actually I should talk about the if you're not counted you're not counted as an 8-way run yet. If you wait too long, you'll be counted as an 8-way run. You'll get a 8-way run move like 3-3K, 3-3B, 3-3A. Those are all the same as the 6-6 versions for this character. But anyway, single tap dash. This makes a quick step forward after a short delay. Some characters have really bad single tap dashes, so definitely check your character to see if they have a good one. Yoshimitsu's is really fast. Mitsurugi's is pretty good too. Yep. Basically, this lets you kind of space things more easily because when you do the single tap, your stick is freed up while you're still moving. So as opposed to like a holding dash where like you're holding it down and then when you want to switch direction to do a move, might be like a little bit of a delay. With the single tap dashes, you can just interrupt your movement with an attack to space your attacks perfectly, like so. And yeah, if you press and hold forward again after the single tap dash, you'll transition into the full run. You can do this to avoid the slow part at the end of the dash. The character has to slow down and stop at some point, and that's going to decrease your speed if you're trying to do like multiple dash forwards. Like this is great for going a short distance, but if you try to do like multiple dash forwards by like doing like dash G or something, it looks kind of jerky and unpredictable, which can be what you want, but it is a little bit slower than if you transition into a full run at some point. So I'm doing the fast part up to this point, and then I'm holding down forward again in order to get full speed. It's a little bit hard to see sometimes. So back up to here. If you wait too long, it won't read it. You'll stop for a second like that. So that's too slow. But if you do it at the very end, I think it might be the fastest way to move forward with Yoshimitsu, at least. Anyway, just something to play around with. Double tap dashes put you into the run state immediately. That's the full run. If you do it out of a buffer, it's like one of the fastest ways to move forward because the single tap dash has like a slight slow startup. It's really very short in this game, but this will get you going subtly faster, and that's needed to hit like combos like this one, where you really need to be precise. You have to get there as soon as possible. You really need to buffer the double tap dash to really make it there in time. So yeah, it starts you going at a constant speed at full speed. Double tap, maybe there's a portion in there where it's faster. It's a little more subtle. But the other advantage, of course, is for single tapping, you don't have to um, buffer really fast. You don't have to input a really fast motion. For double taps, there's a period of time where you're not like you're not doing the full movement yet. If you're not buffering it, then you have to physically do the 2 taps, and that can be kind of hard. Sometimes you can do like a input trick to kind of get it done, but yeah, it does waste a little bit of time. Another key thing to know is when you're in the full run, it allows you access to A-way run moves by swinging the stick or D-pad or wherever down to the direction that you want. Like right there, I stood at dash 2-2B, even though you normally do 2-2B forces you to sidestep. With this, I can run forward into a 2-2B if I want to. And if you input it really quick, the 6-6 into whatever you want to do, this is a dash 1-1K, then it'll come out as soon as you're allowed to. A-way run moves, the side A-way run moves, if you basically they require 10 frames of movement from a standstill first, or after change direction, and this allows you to make that movement any movement you want by using this technique and just run forward, do whatever you want. Like same goes for other sideways movements. So yeah, that's pretty much it for forward movements. There's not a whole lot of like advanced stuff there, except maybe the canceling the dashes to make them kind of subtle. You have access to all the other movements from forward dash, like side steps. The only stipulation might be from doing a full run. If you try to like sidestep without waiting a second, then you're gonna get like a slower sidestep. You're gonna get the 8-way run, the side 8-way run, which looks like this. You really want to like go back to neutral for a second before moving out of a full run. Or you're going to want to double tap. Does that work? Single tap works. You just don't go straight there. You have to wait a sec. Obviously not an actual second, just a brief little moment. Alright, let's... Yes, all backdashing, sidestepping. Yes. Went over that. All accessible. I'll just take a look at what we got here. Alright. Let's get to sidestepping. Sidestepping inputs work a little bit differently. This time, if you do a single tap, it doesn't matter how briefly you tap. The game will seamlessly transition the animation for the holding step, which looks like this, into a single tap step. So this is a single tap step, and this is the holding step. Very subtle difference. You can kind of see how much faster it is when you buffer it. This is a single tap. This is a holding step. So yeah, that can help you sidestep out of certain things a little bit faster. The holding step, yeah, some might be surprised to hear, is faster than the regular single tap sidestep in this game. I'll show you an example of that really quick. I know there's definitely one with as well where it's better to do a holding step to get out of the string. This might differ from character to character. Some characters might not need it. But if you're ever wondering why your character can't sidestepping, maybe go to training mode and see if holding step works. So yeah, steps are kind of complicated in this game. So let's just show what that's like. This move, if you try to do a regular sidestep If you try and do a regular side step, there we go, you'll get hit if you step in that direction. But if you do a holding step in that same direction, Yoshimitsu will get around it. And there's a couple situations like that. One is against Voldo. There's a lot of situations where a side step won't get out of the way of the Mantis Crawl K, which is really important. There's a lot of stance transitions where step G is the best option, and Mantis K or a delayed mix-up is the only way to beat it. But Yoshimitsu, I'm sure a lot of other characters will be able to get out of the way in time. What's up, Andy Roo? Thanks for tuning in. I know it must be kind of late over there in the UK. Anyway, so yeah, steps are pretty complicated. There's 4 well, I don't know. I call them stages of the side step. There's the microstep window, this beginning part. There's the unguardable period. There's the part where you can't guard and you just get hit if they do a horizontal or some other tracking move. There's the dash cancel window, which occurs a little bit earlier than the guarding period. And then there's the guardable period, or 8-way run period. It's when the step transitions into a full run if you're holding it down, and makes you stop and be able to guard if you decide to guard in any side step. So the microstep period, as I call it that because if you guard out of it, you do a little tiny step. And I don't know how long this period is, something like 6 or 7 frames or something like that. But it's just enough time to get out of the way of some things for certain characters. I don't think Aswell can... It depends how fat the character is, like the hitboxes. Like, I don't know. I'd have to test out a particular move. But say he does something like this. Let's see if I can get the timing down. But basically, for really linear moves, you'll get out of the way without exposing yourself to horizontals. Okay, I did it a little early there. Also depends on the move. Yeah, there it is. I just did it, I think. Kind of doing an easier way of doing it. You kind of hold guard and up, and then you just hit G, or press and release G. That's a really easy way to get it. Let's do like a safe step, basically. How am I inputting that? Oh, yeah. Just can you see the input display at all? Basically, I'm holding up and G, and then I'm releasing G and I'm pressing G again. That isn't normally how I do it. I mean, well, you can buffer. Obviously, you'll jump, but if you buffer it during an attack, you'll be able to do it. That's not really the best idea. You kind of want to learn the timing and be able to time it because you're like planning to step like way far in advance. It's not really practical. But if you just do a really quick motion, you can get it. Of course, you have to time all this out of things, so yeah, pretty difficult. I think it's much easier to do other techniques for that, which we'll get into later. But like, say you do it into a back step, like a 2-1-4, like this. I'm doing a micro step by doing that. Like that gets out of the way of stuff with his character. You can do it in either direction. Anyway, get to that soon. Let's see. Yeah, during the micro step, you can do anything. You can guard, you can dash, you can backdash. So that has huge implications, like the fact that you can guard out of it, because you can do other stuff into the micro step, like that. We'll get to that soon. I just want to get through all the sidestepping here. Yes, part 4, sidestepping. Can you guys even read that? Whatever. Anyway, 4 stages. Sidestepping. Yes, first 7 or so frames you can guard cancel. Oh yes, and then the microstep window. The unguardable sidestep. Yeah, okay. This another 7 or so frames you can't guard. This is like a middle period or end period after you start sidestepping where you can't guard. That's usually what you see when people try to guard early. They do like a step G like this. They're forced into doing the full sidestep, and they're able to guard frame 14 moves. Wait, no. They're I forgot again. So yeah, you can guard moves that come in at frame 14 when you sidestep. So if you're at like -2, like someone hits you with like an AA, and then you try to sidestep. You sidestep. And they do a 14 frame horizontal, you'll be able to guard it. But if they do a 14 frame horizontal, then they'll hit you. But right before that guardable period, there is a dash cancel window, and you can guard out of dashes. So what does this mean? -12 step, yeah. Some people like it kind of confused me before, but some people put it as it's a -12 step. Some people say it takes 12 frames to recover. Basically, yeah, you can guard frame 14 stuff. But with this technique, you can guard. You can make your steps -10. Check the inputs. You sidestep, and you dash out of it. You can dash out of it earlier than you can guard. So the way you input this is up, forward, back to neutral, and then guard. Otherwise, you'll get a GI. You keep holding forward. And you can do this really fast. It'll still work. Maybe if you like microstepped. If you like a quarter circle forward, you like a microstep to a dash forward. But basically, the idea is you are sidestepping and you're buffering the forward input. If you buffer the forward input, it's going to cause you to dash when the game is going to allow you to. So it's going to time it perfectly for you to get you to dash early. And then if you press guard, it won't cancel that dash buffer, and you'll still be able to cancel the sidestep early while still being able to guard. Do I do this in matches now? I'm starting to practice it. I just discovered this recently. Well, I kind of rediscovered it, but I kind of wrote it off at the beginning because like I wasn't sure how useful it was going to be when the game came out. I think it was this one I found, the backstep one. Anyway, I think I saw Utoto doing this. Like it looked like he was like just doing a lot of dash cancel step Gs. It looked really fast. I'm definitely going to start using it more. But thing is, it only saves 2 frames. So I don't know. You're gonna want to know the setup, though. Yeah, in neutral, it's objectively better if you. A lot of people like to step G, right? Like they'll guard and then step G randomly, so they dodge stuff. But this is just objectively better if you can do this. Yeah. So that's the 865G. All right. Let's move on. Where am I here? I wrote everything down just to make sure I don't miss anything here. Alright. Alright, if you're holding sidestep or double tap sidestep, it'll transition to the side 8-way run. That's the final stage. That's when you're able to use 8-way run moves, I think. Oh wait, no, that's not. You're able to use 8-way run moves at frame 10. You're able to dash out at frame 12. You're able to guard at frame 14. Let's talk about side walking. I tend to call the side 8-way run the side walking because it's slower than the other forms of side movement. And you can't evade some stuff. Like pre-patch, if you try to sidewalk, you get hit by the spear. You had to like time the step very carefully. It's kind of broken, but yeah, that's there's lots of moves in this game where this just isn't enough. But there's also a good set of moves where it's plenty. Weird thing about this is if you try to like dash, do a holding dash out of this, it takes a second. Like it takes a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get moving, and finally it gets to full run. But if you tap, there's no such delay. Same thing goes for backstep. If you really want to do repeated steps, you can just mash generally. But if you want to do it perfectly, you want to just time the step at the end of the step, because it won't let you step again until it's complete. Mashing is the easier way, but it won't be like maximum speed. Answer for ZOS tracking. In some situations, yeah, but it's only you're only able to guard 2 frames earlier, so you're still going to like be hit. I'm sure it's gonna help a lot. Like I don't know how fast are 3A and 6A. Yeah, if you're -2 now you can step, or if okay, so now against ZOS, against the I-16 3A, now you can safely step at -4, I guess. Yeah. Be able to step at -4. However often that comes up. Definitely help against ZOS. I would consider doing it. Yeah, it's that. Oh yeah, I should also add that this also lets you backstep earlier. This is really tough though. Basically, so the same delay for guarding is the backstep timing. This is step backstep, single tap to single tap backstep. You can go a little bit. That's a lot. That's a lot of situations. Oh, if his are +4. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really nice. So it's like Tekken. Well, it's a similar principle to Tekken. Tekken is just doing the same sort of abuse of the movement system. It's just a different way that it's done in this game. Step backdash is a little bit slower than step forward dash cancel sidestep to backdash. In other words, a 2-6-4. See, that's a little bit faster than this. It's very subtle though. This is like kind of hard too. This is like the last technique I would learn. It's kind of not consistent with it yet. There it is. If you really want really smooth movement, let's see. I think I had some notes for this one. Oh yeah. So you have to time any technique you do out of this thing, the 8-6G or 2-6G. You don't want to do anything that would interrupt the dash buffer, otherwise you'll do a full sidestep. So if you're trying to do like a safer sidestep into, that's what I call it, the safer sidestep. This is not a safe sidestep. You safer sidestep into crouch, so a faster, safer step duck. You have to press G first and then press down. That's the safest way to get the. So the way I did my technique on the Twitter is like this. Okay, one more time, like that. So if you look down at the second set there, you can see a down, forward, and then a G, and then a G hold plus down. So that allows you to step duck a little earlier. Obviously you can't do that without the technique. You're at -8. This move is, what, 20, 22? Let's try it one more time. Takes a little bit of practice. And then, of course, I'm stepping in that direction because otherwise you'll get hit by this. Can't step that. You gotta step this way. I did it wrong there. You could kind of see. There we go. Oh, you'll get hit by 3B if you go the other direction too with Yoshi. Oh, if you do the step duck technique, you'll get hit like that. Just a little oddity. That was a regular step duck. So if I do the technique, I'll get hit on that side. Just like that. I'm safe. Oops, I missed the forward input. It's pretty hard to do that, but anyway, back on track here. Repeated steps. Repeated steps. I think the fastest way to do it is to do a hold step, and then immediately after the step is done, do another hold step. So it looks like this. So you can make your opponent dizzy if you want. Am I timing it right? Just like that. For repeated side steps. And this is a little less safe than sidewalking, because after you know, 12 frames rather, you can after that, on frame 14 you can guard anytime you want after you start moving for that long. But if you do this, you're gonna get hit. But there is one way out of it. Remember, you can cancel the beginning of a microstep, beginning of the side step with a G. So if you are mashing this, all you have to do is press basically 2G and you'll stop immediately. But of course, you're still limited to the timing. I guess it's the same. I thought you could step the brave attack. That was it's only a certain direction you'll get hit when you try to do the technique. That's what I was doing. Let's see. Yeah, that's repeated steps. So yeah, you can also step like this, and this is even worse. But sometimes it'll get the job done. I rarely feel the need to do this. I don't see other people do it either. Basically sidestep while moving backward a little bit. There are better ways to do it. Anyway. Alright. Oh, yeah, that's what's next. Better ways to do that. That's the side step into back step. Alright, so you can micro step into guard, you can micro step into back step too. That's what this looks like. That's what the 2 and 4 step is doing. Like that. So you notice I'm off to the side now. That's how I was getting out of that one mix-up earlier that I showed on Twitter. I'll show the one with Taki because it's a little bit easier. You can step to either side. So say Taki is running at you and is about to do a 6B or 6-6B or a throw. You can get out of that mix-up just by doing 2 and 4. Gets real close, like she's gonna lethal at you. There it is. And microstep, and it hardly even looks like I stepped. Looks like a random whiff almost. And sidestep far enough. Get out of the way of that, and a throw. She runs up really like close to you. She'll still catch you, but all you gotta do is just go further back. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a really quick quarter circle that's doing a micro step, and then I'm releasing back like as soon as possible. Like you can do a 2-4 as well, like that. You look at the input display. Probably not the best stage for this. Can't see the inputs. 2 and 4 is a continuous motion. It's a very quick motion. Like, I don't know, let's try and get some background here so you can see it. There we go. Come on, let's clear this. So look down in the bottom left there. Oh, never mind, it's showing up over there. Okay, changing stage. So you have a 2, yes, if you have a 2 and 4 stance, you have to do 2 4s, which that's difficult for me to do on the 2-player side. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Let's go here. Nice big stage. So yeah, this is the 2 and 4 step. This was like in the beta. It was like totally overpowered. You might see me doing it in the Soul Calibur regionals, and it's even more broken than I think it already is. Because being able to get out of this is like from like close range, it's like a little ridiculous. Even if I do 2. Okay, just sometimes realign. Also depends on the character. Some characters have better versions of this than others. Let's see if I can find my little tier list for it. Did I list it anywhere? I don't know. Let's. Oh, I just lost my place. Darn it. Ah. All right. So, yeah, if a character doesn't have like fast mid-range horizontals, you can basically be like invulnerable. If they don't have like a fat mid to hit you with. Some moves in this game, like their mids or their verticals, they're verticals, but they have different widths. So the really thin verticals, microstep will get out of the way of them. You know, but the funny thing about this technique is the game like stops you from doing it. Like I'm doing the same motion. These are just quarter circle backs, and the game just isn't letting me sidestep anymore. If you do it slowly, you can only do 2 of them before the game like stops you. So usually it's 3. You can do 3. 1, 2, 3. If you do it slower, it's just 2. Now the way to get around this, I learned from Kamizono's Twitter. You do quarter circle back, and then you do a half circle back. Every 3, you do a half circle. So I'm practicing this a lot because it takes a little endurance. It's really really cheap. That's how they patched it? I think that's how they patched it. I mean, I think they also decreased Yoshi's movement speed because it was really stupid before. So, if someone soul charges, like Taki, you can just run away. I'll have her run forward after the soul charge. That's what this tutorial is all about. Ale Cross. Some characters are better at it than others. I'll just show you how dumb it can be. There we go. So say she soul charges. Look at how long it takes her to get to me. Like, see, I just like moved way the hell out of there. You know that should be a counter to it. But yeah, I've taken to doing that when people soul charge, and the whiffs I create are hilarious. Yoshimitsu is really good at it. I'll just use, I'll pick another character, see if I can showcase it as well. Okay, who else is good at it? I'm gonna show Tira, because I was trying to tell 8-Way Funds about Tira's ridiculous quarter circle backdashes. And then Cervantes is also really good, which is the other guy I played a set in yesterday. How's it done on the 2-player side? Same deal. Just with it's a lot harder to not do quarter. At least for me anyway, to not do the quarter circle backs. So there, I just did it there for like 2 reps. Anyway, with Tira, like, so fast. Now Cervantes, there we go. Can't see my inputs because I'm using dummy. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit harder to do it with quarter circle back characters. You have to pretty much have a stick. I mean, have a stick and be able to do 2 4s. And then for the half circle back, you also have to make sure you don't 2 and 4. Oh boy. Yeah, I should have practiced this a little bit more. 2 4 2 4. 4 2 4 2 4. 4 2 4 2 4. That's the rhythm. 4 2 4 2 4. 4 2 4 2 4. 4 2 4 2 4. 4. There we go. 2-player side, you can watch Tira. You can probably do it. There we go. Like that. I'm way worse at doing it on the 2-player side, but I'm better at doing other techniques on the 2-player side, like this one. Eight 7 4. Oh yes, yes it does work. Yeah, you can also do that. 874 is what I did in that Sophie video, Sophie against Mitsurugi Twitter post. Sometimes you have to step to that side. Like you're on 1-player side against Mitsurugi. A 3B will catch you if you do that with if you do 214 with Sophie. 874 will also work. It's just, I don't know, it's hard for me. If you have a hitbox, yeah, I guess it won't make a difference. Another reason to use the hitbox, really. Some characters, it literally just won't let you do it. That's why I picked Mitsurugi earlier. So let's look at these two characters in particular. For whatever reason, their sidesteps get cut. Their backsteps get cut short by how long you sidestepped. So it's like combining them. So I tried to do it with Mitsurugi. Like, this is his backstep. Very good backstep. But if you do the technique, it's you can go anywhere. It's still pretty good because, you know, their backstep is already long. Where to get that document? Keep bringing up. I just that's just my little script for this video, but yeah, I guess I can post it somewhere. I'll try the ref in a second. So this is Mitsurugi's. Still not bad, but look how there's like better backdash cancels with Mitsurugi. Just the 4G4. I'll get into that a little bit later. Nightmare is similar. Like, look at that tiny backdash I did for the second one. Like, this is the first one, and then look at the second one. Like, he just makes like a half backdash, but his 4G4 is already amazing. Alright, let's go to Raphael really quick, and then we'll move on here. Double tap quickly before the step ends. Get the same thing as a single tap. Yeah. Oh yeah, double tap stepping like doesn't seem to really exist. If you try to do like a double tap, you'll just like finish off your single tap animation. Like you'll cancel your single tap into like A-way run basically, but not really. It'll wait until the end. So basically, doesn't exist. This is what it should look like if you're doing it correctly with Raphael. Like that. Show you what my hands look like. Alright. Can't get in position here. Let's get my hand cam ready here. Okay. Alright. Just, I could barely see this, but just get an idea how fast my hands are moving for this. Like, it should be like that. It's like very quick. And like I'm like releasing. So release the hands. You hold it for that core circle. Like maybe flick your thumb off the D-pad direction. Just make sure you get a single tap backstep at the end. Like that. Some characters it's like trickier to get the if you don't do it fast, the game will force you to do more half circles in order to keep going. If you do it slow like this. Already I'm forced into like not doing it anymore. I'm doing the same input, still not letting me backdash. Once again, you gotta have circle once in a while. Once every 3 or every other one. It's really hard to do on like that. It's really hard to do on pad, in my opinion. Half circles. But you can also do a guard. It's a little bit slower, but back that. So I'm doing 4 2 4 2 4 G 4 2 4 2 4 G. Like that. So you practice that a lot. You can backdash really quickly. I think my camera is kind of off now, but you should be able to kind of interpret what's happening just by watching the timing of the inputs in the bottom left. Let's see. Oh no, it's like loose now. Okay. So, any questions on that? You can do 8/7/4s, which is just a quarter circle from up to back. Get around all the 2/3/6s and 2/1/4s in the game. Definitely a lot of them. You can see what it looks like when Voldo does it. Here we go. Look, I'm Utoto. Anyway, let's see, where am I? Second is a full side step. And do a dash, cancel it earlier. Okay, I went through that. So you do a an 8/6/2, 8/6/4 rather. Let's do faster transition from side step to backdash, like that. Basically, you do the 2/6 dash, which cancels backdash a little bit, or sidestep a little earlier, and then you time a backdash at the end of that period. So you have to time it just like the fast step G. If you watch the inputs, you kind of see how fast you need to really be doing these inputs. All I can say is start training those hands. That was terrible. Okay, back to my document. Let's go to backdashing. This one's not that important. The real metagame shifter is this. Really strong. Thanks to the subscription, Flannel Bacon. I really appreciate that. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys my emote. It's SC sign the king. There it is. You got it. SC sign the king. SC sign the king with no spaces. Oh, I can't type it into my OBS. I have to log in. Whatever. Anyways, on to backdashing. I kind of already started there. But backdashing, you're able to guard like 15 or 16. I don't know. You'll get hit on frame 14. Main way to backdash is to do single taps. If you're doing like holding backdashing, that's really slow. You should be doing these most of the time. I'll tell you guys when you should do those other steps. So yeah, that's the main way to do it. Unless you're Maxi. Maxi, oof, I can go to him really quick. Show you how terrible his movement is. Yeah, holding back like that is only good for doing it's only good for doing like those slight movements into attacks. Like remember I was doing the holding holding dash into yeah, I'm gonna upload this. It might be a little bit long since we're going through all these little interludes. This is Maxi's backdash. And his backdash cancel. So bad. It's like, almost want to just... Yeah, even then you kind of want to do some kind of backdash cancel. I say Zos has good movement. It's up there. I can show you right now what it should look like. Probably just do this at the end also, just like all the characters I missed. I made like a tier list somewhere. Like a movement tier list. Well, it's not a movement tier list, but like a 2 and 4 dash tier list. Oh, I found it. Awesome. So yeah, I put Zos in like mid tier. Like that's pretty good, especially for a range character. Look at that. That's really hard to deal with. My only concern is maybe he's not really stepping much for this. Like, you have to test out scenarios where this is actually going to get out of the way. See, he gets countered if I do a regular backdash. Put my right up in his face. And I'm doing a corsicle. See if he gets out of the way. Looks like he does. If you do it right. Oh boy. Let's see in the other direction. Ah, I don't have time to test this. One more try. Okay. Yeah, definitely it's going to take some practice for your character. Trust me, it is effective. At least for the backdash cancel. Though there are other ways to backdash cancel. Check to see if your character is thin enough to get out of the way of whatever move you're trying to get out of the way of. Let's change up stage here. Okay, so double tap backdash immediately puts you into back walk. That's only really good for getting into 8-way run if you want to backdash into like a 2-2B or something. 2-2K. Oh, this feels so much better. Oh, back home. Oh, it feels good. Yeah. Okay. That movement. I'm gonna get to more characters at the end. Just a little overview of each character. Let's see. Where was I? Double tap backdashes. Okay, so you want to double tap to do kind of 8-way run stuff, and there's one other case, so I'll get to it later. Let's see. Yeah, the way it works is you backdash, it's a single tap, double tap will cause you to backwalk. So if for whatever reason you can't do any other backdash cancels, you're going to want to do this one. This one is where you backdash into a backwalk, you do a single tap into holding back. And out of holding back, you can do a backdash. So what you do is cancel backdash into backwalk, like this. Backdash, backwalk, backdash, backwalk. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now, so we want to cancel the backwalk and do another backdash. So, but we don't want to be backwalking very long because it's slower. So the rhythm should be to try and double tap in order to get out of backwalk into the backdash. Now, just to be clear, backdash, single tap back, single tap back, like this. So you're doing a double tap to do a single tap step, if that makes sense, because the single tap is canceling the back walk, which is done after you tap back twice. Anyway, so just tap back at like a rhythm like this. 4 for 4 for 4 for 4 for 4 for 4. 4 for 4 for 4 for 4. So the advantage of this is ease. If you screw it up, like if you mash, it's still like pretty fast. In fact, if you just like mash at like a moderate pace, it's like you're already like perfect almost. That's like a more precise version. There's no risk of messing anything up, no input restrictions or oddities to this one. It just makes you backdash pretty quick. This is in Soul Calibur 5. Actually, I discovered this, I didn't discover this, but I learned about it in the Soul Calibur 5 beta. Black Mamba Moan, he was there. SCR 2011. He was doing this. I was like, "Are you doing the 2 and 4 backdash?" Because that's how I did it in SC4 as well. You just did this. You wouldn't do a micro step, but it would make you backdash like much quicker. Basically, you just do single taps into single taps. Single tap, side steps, single tap, side steps. As long as you did it quick. But he was saying this is how you do it in DOA. And yeah, he said it was faster. I didn't believe him, but later on, other people started doing it, and I started to see it's much better for other characters. Much bigger difference. That's just 4 for 4 for 4. Just like that. Very easy. One of the better ones that I was showing earlier with Mitsurugi and Nightmare. For straight backdashing, just backdashing straight back over and over, is the 4G4 G4. Now this one takes timing. If you do it too early, it won't work, like that. If you do it too late, it won't work. Like that. That's slower. That's the real way to do it. So the way this works is, I don't even know, because the timing that you press guard in is earlier than you're actually able to guard, so you aren't actually guard canceling the backdash. It's just for whatever reason, pressing guard allows you to backdash again earlier. That's all there is really to that one. You can already cancel backdash into a sidestep, no problem, anytime. And that's what allows you to do this next technique, which is another bombshell, which is the micro-step canceled backdash. You're able to backdash 2 frames sooner than you would expect. So instead of getting hit by 14 frame moves, you're going to only get hit by 12 frame. Stuff that comes in at frame 12, yeah. So this is another oddity, because it's not like you can immediately cancel into a microstep. You're forced into finishing that full 12 frames of backdash. Normally it's 14 frames or 15, whatever. You cut it down a little bit. All right, that's the point here. Looks like this. Tap 4, press 2G, and then release down. You can also press up. It shortens your backdash, but it makes it safer. So there's specific scenarios where you're gonna want to be able to backdash, but you only need to backdash a little bit, and you don't want to be vulnerable to a specific attack. And that's what I showed in the first Twitter video that I posted related to this tutorial. It was Algol doing AA into B6. Not that realistic of a situation to do it in, but you know, just demonstrating. Normally you can't do that. You'll get hit. You also get like a minor sidestep at the end. That can make you dodge stuff. I mean, you can do it too, just like every other character. This one should be universally pretty good, depending on how good your backdash is. Yeah, that along with the sidestep cancel, that's definitely an important one for every character. Just like that. Once again, single tap backdash is being canceled into a microstep. If you do it too fast, you'll microstep a little bit more. Like I'm very slightly moving back. This is just a sidestep. This is backdashing for a short distance. You're still forced into the full or the shortened 12 frames of backdashing before being able to guard. But yeah, that's that shortens your. I should probably come up with an example that will demonstrate it, that it's actually working. Let's see. Basic math. Let's see, who is going to hit me for backstepping? Oh yeah. I'm gonna do 1K into BB. Alright, this is a regular backdash. I get hit. This is the shortened backdash. This is the shortened backdash. Give me a sec. I'll get it. Trust me. One more time. Oh. That was kind of it. It should work. I don't know why I'm not getting it. Alright, well I'm sidestepping it. I guess that's good too. I kind of want to block something. Let's try something else. Let's see, I'm at something that's +4. Hey, Yoshi. Oh yeah. Do this. Oh my gosh. What does backdash do for you in that situation? It gets me out of the way of 2A in this. So that's gonna cover a good amount of options. It's Yoshimitsu. You can step at any distance. It's gonna do something well for you. that wasn't a cancel. I don't know. Probably think of another situation. Anyway, let's actually guard something that's supposed to be impossible to guard. I'm just not getting it right now. Okay. I backdashed. See? In the input display. Let's do it one more time here. Alright, that's the normal backstep. I get hit. Oh god, okay. Play. Ooh, okay, let's keep going until I get it. I have to show this, otherwise, why would you believe it works? Why did that happen? Why did he slide kick me? This dummy is not cooperating. Okay. Play. Need a better example. I swear, you can guard 2 frames earlier. You get a shorter back step, but it's a safer one. And you might step something too. There you go. This is when I practiced. I'm able to guard. You know I'm backstepping. What does that get me? What does that dodge? I don't know. 2A probably. Point is, find it yourself. I wish I had an example ready. It's probably more useful to avoid stuff like this at range. This is like I-14 or so. Get out of the way. This doesn't actually backstab anything in Sword. Anyway, let's just show it one more time. That's the regular backdash. I got hit. And you can see me moving back a bit before being able to guard that. So I don't know, maybe if he does a throw, get out of the way. That was a really short backdash. So I don't know. I think it's pretty useful. Like someone's like running at you and they want to hit you at tip range, but you aren't sure. You can do like a little backdash, and then you'll be safe in case he reaches further to hit you. And that little side step might actually dodge something. So that's the safer backdash. I think the safer sidestep is a little better. There's no drawback to this one at all. And then this one, able to guard. I see why you get so happy when you get some quick blocks on me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in like tournament match, you did a 1K into an AA, and I step ducked it. That's not supposed to be possible. That's why I was so excited that one time. It went on stream. I was just like, does anybody see that? Did anybody see that? Because I just did the impossible. I'm just drinking a Monster. This is the only thing. I wanted to eat somewhere. I was just like, I probably used some caffeine for this tutorial. This last tutorial, I was a little too relaxed. So just ended up buying that. So yeah, normally I'll get hit, and I step duck. Just like that. And I'll still step a B probably. Yeah. Just like that. Movement juice. Yeah. It takes a little bit of hyperactivity to really use all these techniques. Oh. That's the holy grail right there. Just like that. That's what it looks like. Combine it all. Let's see. Okay, I went through 4G, 4G, 4. Oh yes. So there's a little. I was showing that technique just now. Actually, it's one of my favorite things, techniques that I found during the beta. Actually, Biblis told me kind of like, oh, you're supposed to quarter circle forward if you want to backdash into forward dash. So in this game, it's a little bit different than past games. It just doesn't let you dash forward immediately after a backdash. Like, look at this. I'm doing back and forth really fast, and this is the fastest I can do it normally. Yeah, yeah. I realized how difficult it would be to follow all these little movement techniques. I kind of wanted to explain the entire movement system and how to exploit them along the way. But yeah, I'm definitely going to list everything at the end here. Anyways, this is the fastest normal backdash into forward dash. If I want to do a single tap backdash, I want to dash forward, force into this delay. It used to just be able to do this all day in other games. But in this game, you have to do a technique. If you look down at the input display, it looks a little chaotic, but actually it's absolutely perfect because I am doing 4-3-6s. 4-3-6. You're canceling a microstep, canceling a backdash into a microstep into a dash. It looks like that. You're able to weave quicker. It's really like I used to do this I started doing this at the end of SC5's life. I'd be like kind of in throw range, and it's like, oh, I'm backing off. And I just run right back in. I'd be like this, like that. Really erratic, difficult to follow. And see what that looks like with Sophitia. Really fast stuff. Of course, with Sophitia, you have to be careful not to quarter circle. Quarter circling also works with non-quarter circle characters. Kind of messing it up. Earlier I was doing it really well though, so just take a look at that. Just like that. Ooh, not trying that again. Alright, that's it for those techniques. Before I review, though, let's talk about moving out of crouch. Luckily, I have Sophia here. So crouching, you know, hit down and guard. It lets you crouch. No, this is a regular arcade stick. It's just it's really loud because I'm like doing a lot of stick inputs. Anyway, with crouching, you can press 2G and you will crouch. Because you can crouch anytime you can guard. So all these techniques can be combined with movements into ducks. Like that. I like that. I already went over that. And so some moves in this game will cause you to crouch. Stay crouching. If you hold down, you'll stay crouching. And if you try to do a holding dash movement, see how slow that is. You don't want to be doing that. It's going to mess up your spacing and timing. Like, if I dash and do a B, I kind of have to know how fast I'm going to be dashing. I have the consistent timing to hit a tip range. So doing this is no bueno. It's going to mess me up. I'm going to like not go far. So the way to stop that from happening is just do a different form of movement. Single tap gets you out of crouch immediately. Same with double tap. This is how the recover crouch cancel works. Recover crouch cancel, what's happening is you're canceling crouch in a movement, and then you are doing an attack. So if you want to see the timing of your attack for this combo, for example, you want to do a buffer a dash out. See when Yoshi stands up, and that's when you do the 3B in order to get that combo. So that's the recover crouch cancel. Force crouch is quite a bit different. If you try to single tap movement out of this, you'll get stuck. I will get stuck, right? Wait. Hold on. I am gonna get stuck here, right? Oh. Never mind. I guess you can single tap dash out of force crouch. So it works kind of the same way. You can do forced crouch cancels in this game. So if you just see me just stand up and like hit her, like I'm at -2 and she just did I-12 and I still able to get up and do my I-10 and hit her. Of course, if I wait until I get up, it's going to take forever. So yeah, you can do single tap or double tap to get out of force crouch. That's what it seems like. I thought during my testing it didn't work, but here I am, clearly single tapping and AAing her. Anyway, one more little thing I discovered is if you hold down really early after a recover crouch move, you will move out of it. There it is. Okay. So I'm doing IMCF to holding down right away. And I'm recover crouching. Yeah, it takes 2 frames. Force crouch also cancel is also taking 2 frames. See, that's definitely important to know. Some moves but put you in crouch. Some characters will get better punishes if they crouch cancel out and do a standing punish. Yeah, lots of like Siegfried punishing as well as Axlo to get the lethal hit, AGA. Siegfried player has to carefully time. Oh, Killick. I believe it. Anyway, oh yeah, so I don't know, this is kind of a Yoshimitsu specific thing, but you see. So there, I crouch I did the recover crouch cancel by holding down that time. It can make things a little easier maybe, since you're just doing the same motion every time and just releasing instead of like thinking about like, oh, am I pressing the RCC earlier or late enough? Anyway, I think that's it for the crouching stuff. Yeah. Linkers knows all about it. Didn't used to be possible to do that. Like I didn't realize it was possible to recover crouch cancel just as fast, or force crouch cancel just as fast as RCC. Anyway, so let's review all of the techniques. I'm going to list them all right here. I wonder if I can just copy paste this into the chat. Oops. Let me go to the channel. There we go. Just a little excerpt from my notes here. And it looks terrible because it doesn't do the carriage returns. So let's just start going through them. We have safer step, 865G. We have multi-stepping. You're timing the step so that timing the inputs so that you start a step at the end of the step of the last one. And step dash, that's done normally, just like this. It's just so that we know how to transition to all our movements most efficiently. There's no technique needed for this one, just press up and press forward. You can also press a side step and hold forward, and it's pretty fast, if not faster. Some characters have really bad single tap dashes, so you should just stick to double tapping or holding, but mainly double tapping. Because holding can have some issues, like you try to sidewalk and then press and hold forward, you don't go anywhere for a second, just like back walking. If you're in like a walking kind of motion like this, then you need a double tap if you want to start moving again quickly, or you have to wait a second and then single tap. A double tap or single tap. So you don't really want to you don't want to like walk like this. Doesn't really help unless you're trying to like keep AOA runs options available. Like I can immediately 2-2B or 6-6-A plus B or this or something. That'd be an interesting strategy. Back walk into 2-2K. So yeah, maybe I should talk about back walking really quick, or just walking in general. Oh wait, no, that comes next. Continuing the review, faster backstep. That's 264. Canceling sidestep into forward dash into backdash. This is the normal one. This is the sped up one. Alright, next is micro step backdash. That's the 2-1-4s. Cancel the third one, or cancel the limitation of the third one by doing the half circle back on the third one, or the second one. Sometimes you have to do it on the second one if you're slow. I'm messing up. Oof. I'm not getting it now. There we go. Hey, I'm exposing myself right now. Oh, that's kind of annoying. What character did you play, Zendo Crescendo? Yeah, Killick is a little difficult to do that with. You can do it. Like, ironically, the characters that have 214 stuff, yeah, you can 874 as well. If you're a 214 character, you want 874. But that's a little difficult. Funny coincidence, the 436 step, that's like the first few numbers of my phone number, and the 874, that's like first three numbers of my brother's phone number. Anyway, funny coincidence. Let's see, 4G4s. Time the G near the end, but not at the end, and then immediately release G. Like that. Immediately release G and tap again. And the DOA backdash, backwalk, backdash into backwalk into backdash. Just tap back or time it 4 for 4 for 4 for 4. Single tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. Like that. Next, safer backdash. That's 42G or 448G. Like that. You can just see how much more efficient that is. Just barely a little bit more. And backdash step, aka box step. Nothing really required there. You just do backdash into a side step. You can do a safer step out of that too if you want. So that'd be 464G, or sorry, 486G, like that. If you start trying to combine all these, you're going to do a lot of inputs really quick. So unless you play like Tekken or Melee or something with ridiculous movement techniques, might not be used to this kind of thing. But it can be really rewarding. With the right characters, it's really rewarding. I'll show you just which ones. Let's go through each character that I missed, just to see what their optimal movement should look like. Kinda dread picking Maxi for this. It's not gonna be pretty. Xianghua is a surprisingly good 2 and 4 dashes. Yeah, 2 and 4 is easier than hands. Yeah. Or just do oh yeah, definitely. Kind of want rather do 8-7. Like most people are used to doing quarter circles from down to back. Anyway, Xianghua. Her dash is kind of slow. Nothing you can do about that. Single tap is like pretty bad. I would probably always be double tapping with this character. Backdash is there, but the backdash cancels are really fast. Look at that. Really good with Xianghua. That surprised me, because usually her movement's very bouncy. It's like up, bounce, 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 bounce. But this, boom, you are out. Very good backward movement. I'm guessing you can get out of a lot of stuff. She's kind of thin. I'll leave that testing to you guys. See how much she really gets out of the way during her step backdashes. Is there anything else I should look at? Probably not with this character. Let's get moving. Oh yeah, her backdash into her 4-3-6 dashes. Practically useless. I don't know, this could be useful. All depends where you're weaving. You want to be weaving around their tip range, like that. Backsies, backdashes are there. How do I get on the other side? There we go. So there, you should probably learn it because this regular movement's even worse. You want to mitigate that disadvantage. Learn how to move like this. It's so bad still, but like, man, it's so much better than normal. Holding dash looks pretty strong with Maxi. Yeah. That's pretty fast. Let's see. Let's go to Astaroth for that one guy. Astaroth's is surprisingly good too. Siegfried, people say Siegfried has a bad backdash. I mean, you can see it's a lot better when you use these techniques. Use the 2 and 4 technique. I mean, it's pretty good for Astaroth. I mean, doing a 2 and 4 is like seems like almost faster than his regular backdash. Astaroth definitely want to double tap. Oh, single tap's actually pretty good. Oh, I'm doing the old input. There we go. Who has stances? Okay, so if you want to step forward, the character like Sophie, Sandra has stances. So if you want to do the 4-3-6 step like this, you have to make sure you don't do a quarter circle forward. You have to go from back to down forward to forward. You won't get a 2-3-6 like that. You can see down at the input display, doing back to down forward to forward, really quickly. I'll go to Cassandra in a second because her movement is insane if you do it right. So like Siegfried, you say his backdash is bad. I mean, if you do this, you get out of trouble pretty quickly. Ah, there we go. Wow, I'm not getting it. That's kind of how it should look with Siegfried. His single tap is really fast, like just like it's always been. I mean, I feel like he has decent movement. It's just a little bit shorter. I don't know. It's shorter, but like it's still fast. If you just do a bunch of those movements, it adds up to quite a bit of speed. All right, let's go to Cassandra. And let's look at a character like Grow. Grow's movement is terrible. I hate it. Oh my god. Oh, no problem, man. I enjoy this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to do this since like SC5, to be honest. Just haven't been able to stream till now. Well, I've been able to stream for a while, but just been lazy. Alright. Cassandra. So you can get it. Like, I'm doing 2 4s in order to avoid 2 and 4s. Like that. Ugh. If I really concentrate on it, I can do it. And then I'm doing 4 3 6s. I've been practicing 4 3 6s for literally almost a year now. I was doing it day 0 because this is my playstyle, is to move a lot. I want to be able to weave. Need my weaves. Just like that. Sandra's so fast. Oh, that's why I wanted to play this character when she came out. Just like that. Let's look at grow. Let's go on one player's side because it's a little bit easier for me. This is grow's 2 and 4 dash, bottom tier. Just doesn't go anywhere. His dash is like kind of slow too. This is his forward tap. Pretty slow. But I don't know. You don't really need to be moving with grow that much. Just do 6As, cover their movement. I think a good technique with grow is to be able to do short holds into like 6As. It would do like a 6, delay A, like that. Just holding 6 for like a short period of time, then pressing A. It has a lot of range. I can hit people from way back here with that. So characters with good 6As, you should definitely do that. Alright, any other characters I should look at? How clean do you need to be for moving like this? You want to be pretty precise, otherwise, you know, there's not a whole lot of point to this unless you kind of know like where to move and you're moving to like smart, precise locations. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of movement that can be like hit by the opponent. So it's definitely helpful. Ivy's is really good. It's like, honestly, I hope no Ivy player fully learns this. You already see how ridiculous it is when players like Kamizono know how to move. Ooh. How clean do you need to be? Let's see. I don't know if I fully understand the question, but I hope that answers it. Like, she goes fast and far on like all her movements. And she's pretty fast. Like that. Like that. Just turn it around there. Kind of showing how bad I am on 2-player right now. Let's practice a little bit on 2-player. Just like that. Mina's pretty privileged twos, as you can see. Oh no. How do you... Okay. There we go. See, Mina's so broken. So fast. Really, really good for those characters, especially because, you know, they're long-range characters and they want to stay away. Let's see, Taki's is surprisingly good. Let's do Killick really quick, because it's kind of hard to do, so nice to have an example just to show you. Yeah, I showed Sophie for a little bit. I can show her again if you want. That's like one of my characters, so I can show it off pretty well. Oh yeah, Taki's a 2-4 character, but if you can do it, I mean, that's pretty good. Especially a character than I-10, like, and an I-12 like this, it's like, if you want to be defensive, you can definitely do it. Just be unapproachable. Taki's dash is awful, so I can never play this character. It's just like holding dash, it's like takes forever. Even the full speed, full run, buffered out of attacks, that's super slow. Man. Whew, feels terrible. But her backdash canceling is like really kind of fast. Alright, here's Killick. His is pretty good. Dash is also really slow. Though honestly, compared to other games, like it's like fast. So you can definitely stand like right here and like do like unreactable dash and throws. Like Killick, if you're able to do 2-4s or 8-7-4s instead of 2-1-4s, if you do 2-1-4s, you're gonna get that. Then you can definitely do well. I should show my inputs for the dummy, but it'd take forever if I did one character at a time. Alright, there's still a few more left here. Let me go look at my little tier list. I'll post it up in the chat. Who has good ones? There we go. Tira has one of the best 2-4 steps and backdashes. It's a little bit slow though. Kinda already showed these characters. Might as well do it again though, because I feel for these players. I really do. Is any other notables that I missed? Geralt's is okay. Amy's is alright. Oh yeah, Aswell's is trash. Like, you can't really do it. Oh, that feels good. Ooh, look at that speed. Being able to move like this while not letting your opponent move. Just zoning him out with like 1K, 6-6A, and like 6-6B. Like, oh. Just fly at him like a hornet. Sting. Trying to do I can't do quarter circles anymore. There we go. Yeah, like some characters like Sophie, you have crouch dashes you can do randomly too. Step crouch dash, To get out of Sophie's angel step really quickly, just hold a direction that isn't down, and you will exit very quickly. Just like this. Definitely be able to do that if you're a Sophie player. Mix up with that. Oh, I messed up. Ah! So fast. Okay, here's Tira. Look at that. I think it might be different in Gloomy, but man, her jolly backdashing is nuts. Her dash speed is like, I think the slowest in the game though. I just poke out at like a Tira player's dash in because it's so slow. Alright, let's look at Gloomy. Not bad. I think it's a little bit worse. I don't know. Cancel Angel Step into full crouch by just time it. Time it at the end, like this. It just ends in full crouch. I'm not pressing forward to get out of it. If you wait till you press forward, then it will 1G. Can't stay full crouch. You can do it with guard, looks like. That. Anyway, it's not a Sophie tutorial, otherwise I'll be showing you how to do this. Come on. Woo! Anyway, that's really hard to do. Tira backdashing, really good. Gloomy, looks like faster dash speed. Huh, yeah, that's much better. Dash speed. Still not the best, but nearly up to the level of Yoshi and Cassandra and Sophie. This is Sophie's dash for comparison. Pretty fast, I gotta say. Oh, it was dragging on a while. I'll probably cut out the last part for the video. I don't know. Probably not gonna bother editing anything. Don't really know how to do it. Let's go to 2B. Apparently 2B used to have a mechanic where when she was lower health, she would move faster. I think that's not in the game anymore. Okay, 2B's is kind of average, her movement now. It's like, yeah, it's just average. I see it as average. Of course, she's a 2-1-4 character and a 2-3-6 character, so it's kind of hard to do the 4-3-6 and the 2-4s. It's easy to make a mistake. This feels really bad right now. That's what it should look like. Probably change it for injured animation, maybe. I feel like they must have nerfed something. I don't remember it feeling this bad. It's like, I remember feeling the forward dash because I feel like that with every character I try. Like, oh, it takes so long to run in. Yes, 874 works, guys. I hate doing that. It's easier for me to do 2 4s, except on the, I guess on the 2 player side. Even then, like, I used to do, I used to be able to do 874s on 2 player side, no problem. Just takes a little practice, just like that. Anyways, let's look at Amy. Pretty average, middle tier, middle of the road. Dash B is really slow. Definitely use that to your advantage. Trying to learn how to fight Amy. Don't eat one of these though. This is still going to be faster than however you currently move. Like, even if your character isn't really good at it, like, you can still like make it look like your character moves way faster than the opponent if you know how to do these techniques. Ooh, that's a lot of inputs. Thanks, Rich Sticks, for the viewers. Those of you guys watching, just catching me on the tail end of my movement tutorial stream. Just showing all the movement abilities of each of the characters. Let's show as well. Talums is, I don't know, it's really bad. Bottom tier. Bottom tier move, backdashes. But it's better. Gets better when you do these techniques. Her dash is pretty fast. I like how she like ducks her head forward. It's probably a bad thing, to be honest, but looks cool. I'm messing up. Kind of looks like that. Switch sides so I can do it more easily. This is as well as 2 and 4 dashes. It's there. It's pretty bad though. He doesn't really sidestep anything when you do it though. You might as well do the 4G4, which is pretty good. I should probably show the 4G4s of the characters. As well as a top tier dash though. Very fast. So that's a pretty nice technique to have, the 4-3-6. But backdashing is not as fast, so you kind of want to be like, surprise, like that. Alright, I think that's everybody. Let me see if there's anything left I want to talk about. Oh yeah, I kind of had another set of things to talk about. Okay, I only haven't shown Geralt. So let's go back to Indian Port. I want to talk about applying your movements. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail, as I'll just end up explaining the whole neutral game. But for positioning, So yeah, not only should you be able to move efficiently and place the attacks you want out of movement, you should know where it's safe to move, the way you want to move, and how you want to position yourself on stage effectively. So you need to kind of know yours and your opponent's move list to see where it's safe to sidestep. For example, it's kind of hard to react to these moves against Geralt, so you might want to not move as much at these ranges, just get yourself killed. All this movement, if you're doing combinations of movement like backstep into sidestep, you're vulnerable for a long time. So you can't like move that much. Like the way I'm moving right now is like I wouldn't do this that much when I'm inside the opponent's range, because I'll be doing this. They'll be like, well, I'll just hit you with 6 AB or something. So I guess not allowed. So instead, when I'm in range, I'll be doing something like, if I'm doing any movement techniques, it'll be this, like the safer step G. 2-6G. Or I'll just block. Like my technique will be, look like I'm going to move around, and I'm going to just block. If I stand at that range, it's like, oh, Geralt's going to think, oh, that's the perfect range for me to just hit you. I'll just block it and like, oh, I'm at advantage up close. So, yep, that's pretty important. You want to move around your opponent's ranges. Kind of neutral game 101. Let's talk more about positioning on the stage, though. So obviously, if you do too many of these backdashes, you're going to find yourself with your back to the edge pretty quickly. So that's obviously something you want to avoid. You're closer to the wall, you can no longer backstep, and you have a risk of getting hit out of the ring or wall splatted. But if you can use this to your advantage, the opponent is backstepping like this or backwalking, and it's just as a pattern of doing more back movement than forward movement. Then you can follow them at a safe distance. And eventually, you can walk them down to the edge. Like that. See, I don't know if you noticed, but because I moved to the side, that steered him toward the closer wall. And the reason that happens, even though I did the same recording, is because the opponent moves relative to you. They backdash, they're not moving, you know, necessarily in this direction. If I'm over here, backdash will send them in that direction. So if your opponent is moving passively, then you can follow them in such a way and steer them over to the edge. So for example, if someone's just like kind of orbiting around you like this, then you can kind of follow them like this, and eventually like they might end up in the corner. Like that. So what you can do is, say if they're doing that, you can immediately like switch positions and like, oh, all of a sudden, boom, their back is to the wall. Basically follow them, follow them, follow them, follow them, swing over, and then their back is to the wall. Like that. Kind of wait till you're in position and then attack. Now that can be predictable, but you can also predict when the opponent's going to be like, so they're right here. They're not going to worry too much. When the wall comes into, the wall or ring edge comes into view, like right around, maybe here, maybe earlier. The game kind of zooms out to kind of show you that you're getting closer to the wall. That's when they're going to want to start sidestepping. So what do? Stop doing linear moves, because you're going to miss and then they might ring you out. And you're going to want to do horizontals, kind of contain their movement, keep them in that bad position. So all that movement you're doing, you're kind of shimmying around for a good position as well as trying to dodge things. So you're kind of like trying to head him off. He's trying to get around me. I'm not letting him. And like I'll come up to him and be like, oh, he's gonna want to move here. I'm gonna horizontal him. That's how you corner people. That's how you keep them by the edge. Keep them in a really dangerous spot where one read is death for them. Another thing you can do if you're on the opposing side, your opponent's got you in the corner here, for example. They're gonna think, hey, I'm gonna want to sidestep this direction. So what they're gonna want to do is follow you. Trying to keep you like in the corner. But what you can do instead is step the other direction. So they're trying to head you off in this direction. Say instead I step over here, I'm in a better position than I would have been if he hadn't moved at all. So you can kind of, there's like a little kind of a push and pull kind of element there. You threaten to go this way, so you're kind of pushing him over there, and you go totally in the other direction, and you'll get around him. Another important thing to know when trying to get out of the corner is if you're like back here, it takes longer to switch positions. Say back here is better. You can see it better. It takes more steps to get to his side than if you are closer. So if you're back here in advantage, maybe instead of going like this to get out of position, you should go right up in their face and then just 2 steps. And if you do 3 steps here, you're totally behind them. Whereas you do 3 steps back here, you're only to his side. So what you can sometimes do is kind of fake out like you're going to attack him and then like just turn around. Totally flip the switch on him. So yeah, that's I guess I have a little bit more here, but that's a good time to end the recording. Probably continue streaming, play a few matches. I don't know. You got any questions, chat? Any requests to show? Take those requests. I'll keep talking about positioning. So yeah, the idea is someone's moving. If you're faster at moving than them, then you're going to be able to head them off better. You have a better sense of space. You can better exploit their the spacing that they create when they move. When you move to the side, you actually get closer to your opponent steadily. And it's interesting, once you get to this distance, you don't get any closer. You can get closer if you want to, but sidestepping won't do it. Sidewalking, rather. Or if you do this, and if you are close, you actually move out a bit until you're at that spacing. So it's like a weird kind of spiral. If you move in the one direction like this, you're going to move steadily further away. If you do down forward, you'll move closer at a faster rate. Never really used this before. Maybe I could. But so that's kind of important to know, because if you're following somebody's sidewalk, you got to realize you're going to get closer to them eventually. Like that. And you can use that fact. Like you get closer, closer, closer. They're going to want to step, make you stop doing that. Run in, horizontal them. Very simple. Okay. Okay, alright, we got a question. Trying the backdash of 2 and 4, but I just end up sidestepping. Am I missing something, or do I just need to get the timing down? Yes, you are probably missing something. So if you're doing this, if you're only sidestepping, then you're probably doing like you're not tapping the back part. I don't know how you would just get a sidestep with no backward movement at all, but it probably looks like something like that. The 2 and 4, you want to make the 2 very brief and the 4 very brief. So do like a very quick flick of the stick, or flick the slide of the D-pad or whatever. Once you find the timing, then just practice it until it becomes second nature, all in one motion. You can delay the 2 a bit in order to get a slightly bigger sidestep, but not that long. Which pros would you say are really good at this movement? Kamizono. That's it. I've only seen him do it. I think Utoto might know about the safer sidestep, so I could have sworn I saw him just doing this the entire tournament at Southeast Asia Major, at C Major. That's the safer step. That's the 8-6G. Skill doesn't do 2 and 4 steps. He does because Mitsurugi has a pretty bad 2 and 4 step. It doesn't really step anything and it's shorter. Skill does 4G4s like this. Yeah, he can probably use it. There's a lot of people that use the 4G4. 4G4 is better in a lot of circumstances with most characters. It takes more timing, which I think that's kind of makes it a little bit harder to use in the heat of a match, because you're watching what they're doing and then all of a sudden like they do an attack. Like when I see skill play and a lot of other players do that, when they do this, they're concentrating on hitting the G at the right timing, and then when they see a whiff, they're like still backdashing and like they don't whiff punish it, unless it's like something he can CE. Then it's like easy. I see him do this, I see him like fail to whiff punish stuff. What you really want to do is have a controlled step so that you're stepping right to the right distance where your character can whiff punish, but they can't reach you in whatever attack you're trying to bait a whiff on. That's why it's important to be able to like do box steps and this 2G canceled backdashes, because if you especially with short range characters, and it's kind of true for every character in this game, if you backstep too far, you're not in whiff punish range. So you want to control like where you are so you can reach with your whiff punisher. Or you want to be able to do the 4-3-6 technique so you can dash back in. That's really hard to do. Oh yeah, no problem. Death by poke. Yeah, movements I think is a really important part of the game. I think it's not discussed like by some players don't really care about it because they play a character that can't move that fast, or they don't feel the difference as much. I think if you're playing a character with fast movement, if you don't have good movement, you're not getting everything out of the character. Movement is a huge balancing factor. If you don't understand how to take advantage of slow characters' movement, then you aren't playing the matchup as well as you could be. Characters with big range like Siegfried and Nightmare, you still use this as much as against a shorter range character. Actually, no. Against characters with longer range, you can't be doing this that often. You'll be doing different techniques, really. You don't want to be moving like all crazy like that, the way I was doing the demonstrations against characters with wide sweeping horizontals that are fast enough that you can't react to. Instead, you should use the techniques that help you guard quicker, so that you're able to safely move and be able to guard those stuff without leaving the smallest opening possible. And you also just like use different techniques for the character. Like this is Nightmare's 2 and 4 step, which is pretty good, but like this is the range. This is a normal backdash. It's further. For whatever reason, Nightmare is one of the characters, like Nightmare, Mitsu as well, that get like their steps shortened when you do 2 and 4 steps. So instead, you do 4 G4s. Like that. Yeah, that was perfect. But yeah, against characters like this, it's like they can hit you with like this stuff, AGAs, and like you try to be like moving like this at that range, you're just gonna get smacked in the face. So instead, against these characters, you want to do that, but like from back here, outside of the range of that stuff. So basically, you want to be doing that weaving in and out of their ranges. If you're inside their ranges, or you're required to be inside the range in order to fight them, you want to be able to like step G safely while finding your moment to attack. So like a lot of this long range stuff is scary, but you can safely block the horizontals all day, especially. Like horizontals don't tend to crush your guard very much. Yes, especially to Ivy. Ivy, you can't really be fooling around too much, because you catch yourself doing a box step and she does a 6-6A hold, you might not be able to block the second hit of that in time, and you'll get lethal hitted. Definitely against Ivy, you want to be comfortable blocking outside of her mix-up range, inside of her like poking range. Find your moment to like run in and attack. It's like they can hit you, but like they don't have like that scary lows or anything. So yeah, you want to be able to. You can move like crazy outside of the ranges in which they're doing unreactable horizontals, and you want to be able to move in a way that you can guard safely when they can hit you with a unreactable move. So characters like Aswell are a little bit hard to play against, some characters, because there's a long range in which you need to get through in order to reach them with your own unreactable attacks. So Ivy is all her stuff. Trying to move through all this, it's like probably gonna get a hit. But if you simply block and then run in, be careful, then you'll be in much better shape. Azul or something, you gotta run through this. You gotta run through that. The range of which this can't react to. Sometimes you should just block and like run to a place where you can block stuff safely and do like safer movement, like dash G, sidestep, cancel, like that. Find your moment. Oh, slipped my mind. What character was I going to talk about? So yeah, stuff like this, you can't really do as much fancy stuff. That's kind of why I struggle against these characters a lot. These characters that cover so much space. What's up, TJ McBiggs? It's on the tail end of this movement tutorial. Kind of don't want it to end. Having so much fun. What was I gonna say? Mina, yeah, you don't want to move that much against Mina and Zosamel. Zosamel, you don't want to be doing all this stuff that much. If you're gonna move, just do safer step Gs and move in and out of his like horizontals ranges. Like definitely a lot of matchups where you can't do all these techniques as much. Especially helps if you're the longer range character, because you can safely move out of their range while you have something to attack them with your longer range stuff. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the recording. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I know this is gonna be like a 2.5 hour video or something. Should be very informative. Guarantee, no matter what player you are, you learn something new. Unless like you're like from Japan or Europe and you've been doing these techniques, like, or you've known about these techniques all along. Skill definitely, you kind of gave me a little wake up call on like, oh, you can cancel those early and they're like really good. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. I remember finding out about those and I kind of wrote them off. And I was like, okay, why did I do that? I have totally forgot about them because I didn't know any frames in the beginning. So I was just like, okay, I only saved 2 frames here. But apparently there's a lot of situations where it really helps, like as well as at +8, you want to be able to step duck. And you can do it with these techniques. You can do it with, I showed it on a little Twitter video. I might make little posts like that for each technique, just to demonstrate each one. It'd be really helpful. But yeah, thanks for watching on YouTube. I'm going to end this now.